Yeah.
Ain't bad.
We're joined by VCU head coach Shaka Smart to his left, Bradford Burgess to his right, Jamie Skeen. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Smart and then open up for some questions.
Well, we knew it wasn't going to be easy, and our guys battled for 40 minutes. And I give Drexel a lot of credit. They kept fighting as well, and that's why the game went down to the last second. But I thought a big key to victory for us was we hung in there and defended well enough to hold them to 60 points. And then this young man to my right and this young man to my left made a lot of big plays to move the scoreboard a little bit for us.
Any questions, just raise your hand. We'll bring the mic around.
Coach, you guys are so used to hitting a lot of threes, and it seemed like they weren't able to, create a lot of shots tonight. How tough was it to win a game where one of your main factors wasn't able to be so effective?
Yeah, we only hit 3 threes and we only shot 10. Usually we shoot a lot more than that. But Drexel did a nice job closing down those shots. And at the same time, it was a big emphasis of ours to attack the basket, to go at the rim. We wanted to get them in foul trouble. We wanted to get the ball to Jamie. When Brad got the ball, we wanted to rip and go. And I thought our guys did a great job following that plan.
Jamie, can you take us through the last play, and was that designed for you?
It was definitely designed for me, but I didn't have a clock in my head, so I didn't know how much time was left on the clock. So I was just playing basketball like I told my coach as we was walking up to media. So I was just trying to make my move and make the right move and go to my strong hand, which is my right, and I did. He gave it to me, so I took it.
Everybody was screaming for him to shoot. I was scared he wasn't going to make it.
Jamie, were you surprised, Jamie and Shaka, were you surprised you weren't doubled there at the end? How much time was left? Baseline is right there.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised because I thought that they would have known that the ball was coming to me. But, they didn't double, so, I'm happy they didn't.
Everybody talks about the rivalry with ODU, but the last three games with Drexel have been pretty close. Can you guys just talk a little bit about that?
I heard him. Yeah, he asked about the rivalry with Drexel and why the games were so close and physical. That's kind of been the nature of these games. And if you go add up the 120 minutes, it's a 2-point difference. So the teams have been about as close as they could possibly be. Drexel is very, very physical. Their style is much different than ours. There's certain things we do that give them trouble. There's certain things that they do that are very difficult for us to deal with. So you got two relatively evenly matched teams. And I think if you look at our records, they couldn't be any more similar. I got a lot of respect for Bruiser. He does a phenomenal job. He gets those guys to play so hard and so physical. And they've got some good players, some very good players. But we're fortunate to have some very good players as well. And these two young men stepped up, as did their teammates, and that's what allowed us to win.
For Bradford, you had 3 fouls in the first half. You entered the game with 3 fouls. And there were times in the second half when you were matched up with Givens. So could you talk about what you did to avoid foul trouble, and could you talk about making your free throws?
Coach is always telling us to do our work early on Givens, when he's trying to post up, trying to close down on the post-ups and not let him get an opportunity to catch the ball. And that's what I was trying to do. And on the ball reversal, the guards were helping out, not letting him touch the ball. It was really a team effort in stopping Givens and helping each other not get fouls, pick up easy fouls. So that was that. And on free throws, I missed a couple late. Should have made them, but I try to make them as much as I can. Joey missed a couple, but if we make the free throws, we wouldn't have been in that situation. But we just got to continue to play.
Coach, if you could address what you talked to your team when it opened up, the game was going to be called very tight by the refs. The fouls that were called. Can you talk about what you told your team, how to adapt to the way the game was going to be called for the second half?
Well, I'm glad they made some of those calls because if they don't, then the game gets a little out of control in terms of physicality. But what we had to do was just be smart. These two are in foul trouble here. They're our 2 best players, and we have to have them on the floor. We went to some zone. I thought the zone was somewhat effective in slowing them down, keeping the ball out of the post. But, yeah, when the game's called that way, we want to be even more aggressive on our offensive end because the reality is when there's a foul called, 90-some% of the time when we have the ball, it's going to be a foul on them and vice versa on their end. So Jamie did a great job of attacking, of drawing fouls. that's why several of their bigs fouled out.
Jamie and Brad, how happy are you guys you get a second shot at Mason, considering what happened at the Siegel Center a few weeks ago?
We're really excited. You know, the whole thing about this tournament is surviving and advancing. And, you know, we got an opportunity to redeem ourselves against a great George Mason team. You know, they're really talented. Got a lot of guys that can score the ball, rebound the ball. But it's going to be a great game for us and for them. And we're just going to see what happens.
I agree about what Brad said. The first time we played them, it wasn't really us. I feel like we could play them much better than that. That's not how we play. And tomorrow we have our chance to redeem ourselves, and that's what we'll do.
For Coach Smart, when you're drawing up the last play for Jamie there, how does their foul trouble, factor into your decision to go down low, or are you just trying to get it to Jamie there?
It really didn't factor into the play we called. We were just trying to go to Jamie because the reality is, you know, all year long, it's either Jamie or Brad has been our best option in terms of getting a high-quality look at the basket. That's all you look for late in the game. So that play is actually a counter off of one play that we run over and over again, and it's just a simple play to get the ball to him isolated on the block. Ed Nixon made a great post feed, and then Jamie showed a lot of poise, made a great move, countered back to the baseline, and got the shot off just in time. I'll brag if he doesn't want to brag. He knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to let it off as time was expiring, so it would be a true buzzer beater.
The question for Bradford and Jamie, how difficult or easy was it for you guys to put the end of the regular season behind you, a couple of bad results there, and to really turn the page and just kind of look forward to the postseason?
Before the game, Coach was telling us that everybody coming into the tournament is 0-0. So, you know, nobody's ahead of anybody as far as record in this tournament. So everybody has a clear shot to win the tournament, and everybody has a race record. So we just wanted to come in and play our game and play our style and try to impose our will. And we did it at times, but we just got to continue to play, continue to advance.
I put it behind me when on Tuesday in practice when Coach burnt up the month of February. And it was a calendar, a piece of paper, and he just burnt it up and said it's over with. So after that, I put that behind me, and it was thinking about the tournament after that.
Shaka, it's two questions for you. You said yesterday that Drexel's so big you got to make them move. Was that part of the – I know you always open with a lot of pressure, but you seem to be trapping more and going at them harder. I wonder if that was part of the strategy. And also, could you talk about what Bradford means to you when he's on the floor?
Well, the second question is the easiest one, so let me answer that first. He means everything. You know, we're a completely different team when he's not on the floor. A lot of people might not know this, but Brad at times plays 3 different positions for us and is capable of playing another position for us. So he's by far our most versatile player. He's one of our best shooters. He's our second best rebounder. It just means a whole lot. He can do – there's nothing that Brad can't do, and you guys have heard me talk about Brad in the past. His potential is limitless, and I think he shows in games like today – you know, what he can do. But I'm excited for Brad because he's really stepping up for us, and to be honest, happy to have him for a whole nother year. The second question was about moving Drexel around. Yeah, Paul, we went into the game with a mindset of we wanted to trap some of the stuff that they do just to take them out of their offense. They're so good at running their sets and getting the ball where they want to get the ball. We felt like if we trapped a little bit more, it would allow us to take them out of what they do. And I thought our traps early on were aggressive. We got a couple fouls called on us, but that's okay. It's going to happen. Our guys stayed with it, and I think it did, at least for a time, affect what they were doing offensively.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.